The Sound of Dow podcast is also available to listen to on iTunes, Spotify, and Audible. So if you want to listen to your podcast, you can go check it out there. If not, what's up, guys? Wall Street is in absolute panic now as a result of a bunch of meme lords on Reddit. How did it happen? Why is it happening? And what does it mean? We're going to explain all of that today on The Sound of Dow. What's going on, guys? So we the people are reclaiming our power on the stock market. We the people are reclaiming our power against so many elite and crooked institutions, one of which is Wall Street, that have robbed the ordinary people of this country blind for so many years. So I'm sure you've heard or understand this part by now. Wall Street tried to sell off a bunch of GameStop stocks. The price of GameStop stocks went down, and then a bunch of people on Reddit from the Wall Street Bets community, very cool community, by the way, basically all are buying it up and are artificially raising the price of the stock of GameStop and also AMC and a few other companies. So everyone is basically getting, all these ordinary people from Reddit are basically getting really rich because they bought all this GameStop stock when it was low, and now it's going up all the way through the roof, through the moon, right? But I know a lot of people are kind of like confused as to what exactly is going on here. So before I provide commentary on the situation, I want to actually explain like what is going for people who don't really know a lot about the stock market and don't understand really what's happening. And by the way, even people who are buying this stuff up because they want to make the money, but they don't fully understand what is actually happening. So I just wanted to get that explanation out of the way. So firstly, I think before we get to anything else, let's actually explain what happened here and what's going on here for the people who are confused. So here you go. Here's your explanation. Okay, but here's the thing. I have like a basic understanding of the stock market, but honestly, I probably wouldn't be the best at explaining this whole thing to you. But luckily, I do have a rich Indian friend who is a pro at the stock market. I believe he said he's made about 110 million rupees. Is that correct, off the stock market? So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my rich Indian friend. His name is Shashank. What's up?
It's nice to be on my favorite podcast, The Sound of Dow.
All right. So could you like just give us a rundown? So I know Wall Street basically tried to short all the GameStop stocks, which for people who don't know, that basically means like sell them off really quickly, right? But could you explain like why was Wall Street trying to sell off GameStop, and then what happened with that whole situation where Reddit started buying them up?
So basically, for everyone who doesn't know, a short sale is kind of like when someone predicts that the price of a stock will go down. Mm-hmm. So they do this. So let's say person A has a stock, right? A GameStop stock. Yeah. They bought it through, let's say, Robinhood. So Robinhood would allow this big Wall Street firm to borrow that stock, right? That Wall Street firm, right after borrowing that stock, immediately sells it back at market value. But they still owe that stock back to the brokerage like Robinhood, because if they don't give it back, then, you know, Robinhood has to tell the person who actually bought the stock, well, we kind of lost your stock, and that's illegal. Mm-hmm. So Wall Street is set to give it back in like what, a month, let's say. The day right before the end of the month or sometime during that, they will buy back that stock. But since the price of the stock has already dropped, they're buying it back cheaper than what they sold it for at market value right after they got it. So then they return that share back to the brokerage, who returns it back to the consumer without them ever knowing that it was even borrowed in the first place. And that's how Wall Street has been pocketing billions upon billions for years. Now see what Reddit did. What?
And wait. So let's get the process straight, though. So basically, Wall Street, let's say you have a stock, and let's just say it's worth like $50 a share, right? Mm-hmm. So then Wall Street will borrow your stock, quote unquote, at $50 a share, believing that it's going to drop, right? And so they'll take your share, sell it off, and then let's say the price drops to like $17, all right? So then they will buy back the stock at $17. So they made, what is that? Math here, $33, right?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. So they made $33 off of it, and then obviously you lost money, right? So basically what Wall Street is doing to you is in a sense robbing you. They take it, sell it off when it's high, and give it back to you when it's low. They run away with a profit, right? Is that good?
Exactly. And they do it without you ever knowing. Like, you don't know they're borrowing your stocks. It's the brokerage that gives Wall Street access to your stocks, to your shares, and they pocket a little bit of that interest too. So they're in on it. They're in on the bribe.
Yeah. These people are freaking crooked, man. These people are crooked. But anyways, okay. So basically Wall Street was trying to do that with GameStop, right? Because they thought GameStop was going to go down, right? So they tried to buy up everyone's GameStop, and then what happened next?
So Reddit discovered that all these big Wall Street firms were doing it, and they realized that the weakness of every short seller is they always bet on the price going down. But if the price goes up, they have to give that share back to the person they borrowed it from at a loss to them. They're not making profit anymore.
Right.
So
basically,
Reddit,
like continuing the example we said, right? Let's say they borrow your share at $50, and then that share goes up to $100. Now they sold your share for $50, so they got $50, but now they have to buy it back for $100, so they lost $50 in the process, right?
yeah. And that's exactly what Reddit did. They artificially inflated GameStop stock by everyone bought in, right? And that caused GameStop stock to massively skyrocket, which means all these short sellers.
For people who need to get, like, the more people buy a stock, the more shares they buy, the price of the share goes up, right?
Yeah, because it becomes, more valuable. People are like, oh, this stock is, a lot of people are buying into it. It must be a good stock to get. And more people buy into it, and more people buy into it because of that. It's just a trend that keeps going. And what happened is all these big Wall Street firms who were counting on GameStop losing value were shocked because they put all of their money into making sure that they were going to get tons off of this GameStop stock, right? So when Reddit artificially inflates the price and makes them lose all that money and have to pay everything back at a loss, some trust funds are even going bankrupt right now.
And then for people who don't get it, like, what exactly is a trust fund? I know a lot of us hear that term a lot, but what is a trust fund?
So trust funds are basically think of managers of your money, but they manage it on a much bigger scale. So trust funds are specifically for trustees, which are people who have a lot of money, right? Or just have a moderate amount of money. Trust funds will gather tons of people who have that money, pool it together, and manage their funds for them, put them in specific stocks, just manage their money so that the regular people don't have to, right? And all these trust funds usually have so much money pooled because the people that want their money managed are big money makers, the elites, everybody. Yeah. So when these trust funds go under like this, it's a very big deal because they have lost not only millions, but billions of dollars of money. And now the people who put in this money, hoping that the managers would take care of it, are now demanding that they get their money back, but there's no money to get back.
So what's either going to happen is those rich people are going to lose their money, or the trust funds will pay it back, but go into a ton of debt in the process, right?
Exactly. And that's when they'll probably ask for a government bailout. They did this in 2008. Their market manipulation caused the downfall of a great economy. And what happened was Washington and our federal government, they just bailed them out. And they didn't bail out the normal person. They didn't bail out the average Joe who lost everything. They bailed out these massive trust funds because those trust funds are really who has the power in America.
Damn. So, but basically what we did in essence is Wall Street tried to do what they have been doing, which is rob us, and then we robbed them. Is that basically? Exactly.
A simplified version of that.
All right. Well, Mr. Indian rich friend, not in. Thank you very much for coming on. We appreciate your help as the Sound of Dow finance correspondent and Indian foreign relations correspondent. And thank you very much. All right.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So, in essence, folks, we beat Wall Street at its own game, its own crooked game, okay? So, you guys got the explanation. Basically, we caught wind. We noticed a very corrupt, underhanded Wall Street strategy that the brokers on Wall Street regularly use. And then we're like, hey, let's use this against them. And then we, the people, robbed Wall Street, okay? And you know what's funny about this? The Wall Street bets community did far more to hurt Wall Street than the Occupy Wall Street movement or the Eat the Rich movement ever did. Okay? So learn that lesson, guys. if you guys want to take it to the wealthy, if you guys want to take it to the elites, stop being a lazy, couch-sitting, basement-dwelling, neckbeard communist who just sits on their ass all day and doesn't do anything except protest and whine. And actually, if you want to make a change, if you want to make a difference, get on the stock market and start trading. Okay, take back what is yours. I think that's pretty funny. Okay, I just found that hilarious that the hippies have been crying for decades, like, we gotta stop the rich, and then guess who it was that stopped the rich? Not them, but a bunch of intuitive Reddit users. Hilarious. So I know there's a lot of copers today on CNBC and a lot of coping hedge fund people and trust fund people that are really upset because they're like, this is market manipulation. And it's like, no, actually, Wall Street, what you are doing is market manipulation, okay? And we are just unmanipulating and then remanipulating it to actually help us and not just help the elites on Wall Street, right? The insider trading elites on Wall Street. It's wonderful, isn't it? It is a wonderful sight. We, the people, beat Wall Street at their own game, and boy, is Wall Street pissed at us, okay? Boy. But, that's exactly the thing. It's like, it's okay when Wall Street, it's okay when the elites manipulate the stock market, quote unquote. It's just not okay when we manipulate the stock market, right? That's what you're seeing right now. What you're seeing is textbook elitism. You guys might have heard today that Robinhood tried to shut down the buying of new stocks of AMC, Gamestop, and a few other stocks that the Reddit community was in on, right? And so basically what they were trying to, because you saw the prices of these stocks were going through the roof. Like you guys saw, let's just use GameStop for the example so I can explain this, okay? So basically GameStop stock was going up like a rocket in price, right? So people were making a bunch of money off of it. What Robinhood did was they stopped people from for a few hours, and now it's back, but it's still limited. They stopped people from being able to buy new GameStop stock. Okay, so what you could do, you could only sell. They were only letting people sell GameStop stocks shares if they already had them. So nobody can buy new GameStop stocks. So what happens as a result? Well, what happened and the end result that everyone knew was going to happen of this is that the price of that GameStop share would go down. Why is that? Well, so, like we mentioned earlier, the price of a share of a stock, right, goes up as more people are buying it. So that's the reason why you saw the price of the GameStop stock going up so fast. A bunch of people were buying it. Well, what Robinhood did was to stop the price of that GameStop stock going up. They stopped the people from being able to buy it. So now only people can sell it if they have them, but they can't buy any. So what's going to happen? There's a plateau because nobody is buying, and then that plateau, it's just going to start going downwards. The price is going to decrease, it's going to drop because people are going to be selling off the GameStop stock, and nobody is buying to make up for those sales. So the price of the GameStop stock drops. Now, what is the consequence of this? Well, all the people who bought those GameStop stocks and were making a bunch of money off those GameStop stocks, they were basically, they were trying to force those people into a position where it was like, either I sell off my GameStop stock or I lose a bunch of money. So they were trying to bring down the price of GameStop, right? Because again, here was their problem. See, their problem was not the fact that a bunch of people were making money off of GameStop, off of these stocks. Their problem, let's get it straight, their problem was that ordinary people were making a bunch of money. That was why Robinhood was mad. That was why Robinhood basically colluded with Wall Street to try to stop this from happening. That is the reason, okay? Because it's perfectly okay when Wall Street manipulates the market to get a bunch of money, but when ordinary people are making too much money on the stock market, oh no, this can't be, okay? Only the wealthy and powerful people who already have trust funds are allowed to make money on the stock market, okay? That's what happened here. It is elitism at its finest, okay? But that's what we're seeing, and I personally believe this will backfire on them because you saw like the chairman of Wall Street Bets and a lot of other people started selling the GameStop stock because they were like, hey, okay, now, this surely it's going to go down. But now you have the Wall Street Bets chairman, a lot of other people saying, hold the line, don't sell, right? And so that to try to keep the price of the GameStop stock high. But that's what we have going on here. Okay, that basically that's what we have going on here. Wall Street was trying a decades-old strategy to rob you, okay? So you, the ordinary shareholder, but instead, what people on Reddit did was said, screw it, let's rob them. And obviously now they're very upset, okay? They're very upset when you manipulate the market. It's only okay when they do it. This is elitism at its finest. This is elitism at its finest when Robinhood says, nope, we're going to shut down these shares. We're going to shut down the market over here because too many ordinary people are making too much money off of it. Tisk, tisk. But we're not going to let it happen. Okay, we're not going to let it happen. This, like, regardless of whether or not these Wall Street people manage to recover, we are not going to let this happen anymore. Okay, we the people are taking back power in this country. Okay, as I've said like a few weeks ago, I told you, I said Trumpism is not going to die when Biden is in office. Okay, and I did say that to an extent just to like get people motivated and get people to keep on fighting. But to another degree, I also believed it was true. And now you are seeing that. You are seeing populist sentiment against the elite institutions in our country. And it's not just our government, right? Obviously, it's big tech, okay? It's big corporations. It's Wall Street, okay? Academia. You are seeing a general discontent with our systems, okay? And this rising tide of populism, where did it all begin? 2016 with Make America Great Again, right? You guys might have seen this article that basically, it's from CNN, and a lot of people made fun of this. A lot of conservatives were mocking it. From CNN basically saying that Trumpism is to blame for the Wall Street bets community. Trumpism is to blame for this whole GameStop thing, manipulating the stock market, trying to get back at Wall Street. They blame Trumpism for it. They said this was caused by Trumpism. And a lot of people mocked that. They were like, you guys are just trying to attack Trump or whatever. But don't mock that, guys. It is true. This is true. Okay, this is true. We did cause that. We did cause the Wall Street bet communities. Because why? It is our anti-establishment fervor that's been around since 2016. It is our anti-establishment fervor against the institutions in our society, against the system, right? It is that sentiment that drives stuff like this Wall Street bets community to be possible. Right? For them to do what they do, for us to go and take back Wall Street. Hey, whose stock market? Our stock market, right? The stock market belongs to the people, not just a corrupt few of insider traders, right? That's what's happening here. Okay? And it was caused by us. This movement against the system started under us. Okay, populism has not died simply because Trump is in office. Like, populism is possibly the strongest it's ever been in America, because not only did the people take back Wall Street, but then they saw what Robinhood did, right? Then they saw that the elites were like, no, the regular people are making too much money. Regular people are well too off, and they're hurting the elites too much. Now it's time for us to shut this down. Stop this right now, right? People are seeing that. Like, ordinary people are seeing that. And by the way, people on both sides, like people both left and right outside of DC are basically in total agreement on this, right? So we finally have unity. Like, Biden promised unity. This is unity. Unity against the system. Unity especially against the decades-old broken establishment system that Joe Biden represents. That is what we finally have unity over. So, Joe Biden, I guess you were right. You are seeing people say, look, folks, this system belongs to us, okay? These institutions exist to serve us, not just the political elites, okay? And to everyone who is involved in the Wall Street bets community, everyone buying up GameStop and stuff, I salute you, okay? This is a movement of people. Ordinary people are retaking the system here, okay? And the swamp, look, we're all draining the swamp right now. The swamp runs far deeper than DC. Again, as I'm going to reiterate, it runs to New York, to Wall Street, okay, to Silicon Valley with big tech. The swamp runs much, it is basically every corrupt establishment with any type of control in our society. That is what the swamp is. That is who we are draining. So good job, folks, okay? Good job. Don't let the momentum stop, because our system is run. Like, if you ever needed proof that the system was rigged, look at that whole Robinhood situation, shutting down people, ordinary people making too much money. This system is rigged, okay? It is dirty and rigged to the core, okay? And we have no obligation to just bow down to it. Like, people, it is time to rebel. I'm not endorsing violence, but I am endorsing breaking the system, okay? If Wall Street wants to rip you off, let's all get together and rip them off, okay? Like, we have the power in this. I think an important lesson we learned in January is that yes, we learned just how corrupt and rigged the system is, like to even a greater extent. But we also learned sort of a white pill moment, which is that we actually have power. Okay, we have more power than we realize, and if we use it, we can take down Wall Street. Okay, we can take down the crooked people who are ripping off ordinary people. We can do it. Okay. So let this motivate you, all right? Let this motivate you, because like I said, the Trumpism movement has to continue. Okay, it has to continue without him. Let's do this, okay? Let's do this. And honestly, to Wall Street, I feel no sympathy for you, okay? Because you've been ripping off people for years, for decades. How about a little taste of your own medicine? Huh? See, now it doesn't feel so good, does it? Now it doesn't feel so good. I'm sure the government will still bail you out. So you'll be able to hold on to your 4 yachts, whatever. It doesn't matter. But still, we showed you, okay? That is a positive of this whole situation. We showed Wall Street who's really in control here. Let what's going to happen this year. I'm sure 2021 is going to be a year full of populism in this country. Let this be a lesson to all of the elites in America. Use your power correctly. If you abuse your power, continue to abuse your power. People are not here to stand for it anymore. Okay, people are awakening. Like this is a great awakening. All right, and I think it's very symbolic. It is symbolic, even though a lot of people mock that CNN article. It is symbolic of Trumpism. It is symbolic of MAGA. It is symbolic of this uprising against the system that we are seeing in this country, and it is not going anywhere. So sorry, government. Sorry, Wall Street. Sorry, all the elite institutions. But we are here to stay, and we are not going anywhere. So you better get your act together, or just saying. All right, folks. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this podcast. A little bit different, but I figured a lot of you guys would want me to talk about the Wall Street situation, sort of seek to understand it. I hope you have an idea of like the basics of what's going on here, at least. And remember, folks, as always, be sure to like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. You know the whole drill. Check out the links down in my description for my merch shop and some of my other social medias. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening on iTunes, be sure to give it a 5-star rating and a review. And until next time, remember, folks, alpha moves only. All right? Peace.
Screw Wall Street. All right? Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And be sure to check out some of the stuff over on my left for some more awesome content. Also, be sure to go check out my merch shop, okay? As I've been saying, I'm going to be revamping the merch shop pretty soon, so make sure you get these designs before you go. It's clearance mode over there, so check out that link in the description. And also be sure to check out the links in my description for my social medias, okay? Especially my Telegram channel. You guys should join that because they're censoring us all. The elites are after us, okay?